Hello, everybody, and welcome to the internet. We're taking a personality test. If you guys are familiar with the Myers Briggs personality assessment, is it assessment? You know, Myers Briggs personality tests. Whenever you see people writing profiles, maybe you'll see them in their Twitter bios, or they'll have a way of describing themselves, and it'll be followed by a 4-letter acronym or whatever. INFJ, ISTJ, blah, 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 ENTJ. What are these 4 words? It is your personality that is written in stone as soon as you take one of these tests. I believe it was used during World War II. When women were entering the workforce in place of all the men who were going off to war, someone down the line felt that there needed to be some kind of a way to assess a person's personality so that they can accurately place someone in a job that was best fit for that person. And the Myers Briggs personality assessment, I'm really not prepared for this video, was used as a tool to figure out that fit. And so it's still used to this day to determine what type of personality you are, whether you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, are you more of a sensing type, are you intuitive, do you use your feelings, or do you use logic to process your emotions, or are you more of a prospective person, or are you more of a judging person when it comes to taking action? I've never been fully sure what my personality type was, and I first took it in high school on a piece of paper in my English class, and I'm sure there was absolutely nothing official about it. And I believe the first time I took it, I got INTJ. So I was an INTJ, then I took it a second time, and I got INTP. And then I took it a third and fourth time, and I got both INTJ and INTP. Then I recently took it, and I got, I think, INFP or INFJ. So I'm not quite sure what I am. So we're going to take it, and since I'm filming a video now, maybe this will be my official personality when I take it slow and I fully explain all of my answers. Here we go. Takes less than 10 minutes. Be yourself. Answer honestly, even if you don't like the answer, and complete it all. Try not to leave any neutral answers, even though I have a hard time with a lot of these questions, because sometimes it just depends on the situation. They can be very vague. But let's start with the first one. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. That depends. If it's a lot of people that I know, that can be kind of fun, but I'll take that in small doses. So I would say I'm definitely an introvert. But do I somewhat disagree, or do I disagree? I don't flat out disagree, because it can be kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm in this camp. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. Yes, if you want to watch any of my Universe Sandbox videos, I have a huge god complex. I have a wild imagination. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Yes, I definitely like making plans, but I like making loose plans. If I have a day that's scheduled by the hour, like we're going to do this at this time, this at this time, this at this time, I'm going to go insane, because you don't exactly know how the day's going to unfold. I have things I want to do, but I know I might not get to them all, and I want to have some wiggle room just in case something catches my eye and I want to go over there and do that thing, and unforeseen stuff. So I like a list of things. I strongly agree with that. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place. Yes, I'm not going to flat out fully hard agree with that, but I'm definitely more on the agree side of that. I think about, God, it's those conversations that happened 5 years ago, and you just think, oh God, why did I say that? And of course, it's going to be replaying in my head of how that should have gone. And then I'm imagining how that person probably would have responded. And then I'm also constantly thinking about conversations that haven't even taken place yet, and I'm rehearsing it in my head, and I'm just assuming that this person is going to respond this way. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. No. Actually, I'm fairly blunt with a lot of my friends if they approach me with a problem. I'll try. Empathy is actually kind of hard for me. I can empathize to an extent. I definitely feel it, but it's very hard for me to convey it to that person, like trying to figure out what to say. I mean, if someone comes to me and they have a death in the family, like obviously that's not a problem that I can solve, and my first instinct will be to just comfort them. There's really nothing you can do about that. But if someone comes to me with YouTube advice or something like that, I'm gonna break things down, and I'm gonna talk about, okay, here's what you should do. People can rarely upset you. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. This is one, I know they say don't keep your answers neutral, but I'm going to say neutral on this. I'm a big fan of I'll start a conversation, you start a conversation. I'll start a conversation, you start a conversation. I appreciate that so much. I try to start conversations whenever I can, and I really appreciate when people start conversations whenever they can, and everything feels like we're actually friends and it's mutual, you know? So neutral, or you know what? A little bit of agree. You have to temporarily put your plans on hold. You make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. No. If my college career is any indication of that, I was never on track with college. I feel like I'm never on track with getting all of my editing done. I just try to do as much work as I can per day, but I usually go to bed knowing that I have a whole lot of other work left still to do. I just keep picking up from the pile, and the pile ends up getting bigger. But, you know, I do as much as I can per day, but that pile never goes away. It's like trying to empty your email inbox. Your email inbox is never empty, or it's rarely empty. So I don't really put my plans on hold. I just do what I can every single day. So I'm going to slightly disagree with that one. You rarely worry if you made a good impression on someone you met. Disagree with that. I think about that all the time. It comes back to that whole how a conversation should have went in my head, and I'm playing that out. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. Nope. I have absolutely no problem doing that. But I also like going out and being social too. But, you know, if no one's doing anything and I'm feeling a little bit burnt out, I could go a week without talking to a single person. I mean, after that week, I'll probably definitely want to go to lunch with someone afterwards. But I'm a very easily entertained person. I'm someone I can go on a whole road trip without even listening to a radio. I'll just think about stuff. I don't know. I'll kick a bunch of ideas in my head. I have no problem with that. I'll think about conversations that I had in the past and how they should have gone. You are more of a detail-oriented person than a big picture person. No, I'm definitely more of a big picture person. It comes down to the whole planning thing. I'd rather have like a list of ideas of things that I want to do and not have like this detailed list of things. Even when it comes to like driving directions and stuff, the difference between me and my mom is that she'll have to know every single step of the way to get to a certain place. I'm generally pretty good of like, you know, whether I'm going north, south, east, and west, and I just know the direction I have to go to that place. And as long as you're going in the right direction, you can be more precise later. So the big picture is go in the right direction, and then once you're about to get to that destination, then focus on the minor details. So disagree. You are very affectionate with people you care about. Yes, I am. I am a hugger. I hug all of my friends, even romantically. I am a very touchy-feely person whenever I'm dating someone. Not, you know, in a, you know, cuddly and, you know, huggy way and, you know, resting my head on your shoulder kind of way. Yes, that is true. That is totally me. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. Not really. I kind of wing it most of the time, to be honest. I mean, I have things I want to do. But I'm not sitting there calculating like by this age I want to do this and by this age I want to do that. I had roughly in my head by age 25 I wanted to graduate college, but I didn't have that until I was 22, and I was just starting up college again. I create new goals as I go, so that's definitely not careful and methodical. So disagree. You are still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Not really, actually. I think I used to be that way. I've really come to accept and take comfort with any mistakes you've made a long time ago is just a learning experience for yourself to make you a stronger person. So really, it's just a way to ensure that you're not going to make that same mistake in the future. So I tend to see huge mistakes as a good thing, that like, you know, this is going to make me stronger for the future. So I very disagree with that. Well, okay, you know, there's some mistakes where I'm like, God, I really wish I didn't say that thing to that person a long time ago. So I won't flat out disagree with that. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. Yes. I'm definitely like a more intimate social kind of person. Like I can go to a party with someone, but I'll generally hang around like one or two people and have a really good conversation. I'm not a huge fan of super loud places where you can't talk to people. I mean, if I get drunk at a party, you know, I can have a good time. But any place where I can just chill with a few friends and we're just talking about life or work or something like that, that's me. That's me. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. Yes. I'd say I'm more logical. I mean, emotions can guide me too, so I can relate to them to an extent. But I try not to. I definitely try to resist emotional decisions most of the time, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I mean, when I know someone is making a flat out stupid decision, and I'm trying to talk them through it, and this comes down to the problem solving kind of thing, I'll get very frustrated with that person because obviously I'm not emotionally invested in that thing, but they're emotionally invested in that thing. So it's kind of clouding their judgment, but it's not clouding my judgment. But you know, the shoe can be on the other foot sometimes. And then that same person will be talking to me saying, dude, what the hell are you doing? I'm just going to flat out say neutral. That'll be my first neutral answer. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog. Yeah. Netflix, man. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Yes, that is something I take pride in. I am a very calm person when shit is going down, and I tend to be the one who will break up fights among friends, not like, you know, fist fights, but, you know, like arguments. I'll try to find like the peaceful solution to this. And even in a work environment, I mean, I juggled YouTube in college for a long time where I just had so much shit to do, and somehow I got through it. And sometimes you just have to say, this is fine when the whole room is on fire, and just get your stuff done. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Or when in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. I can do that when I'm drunk. I have a harder time doing that when I'm not drunk. But I don't know, if they look chill, if I overhear something and it piques my interest, like if someone is talking about like physics and stuff, or they're talking about coding, or it's like some kind of video game I like, I don't have a problem jumping right into that conversation if it's a topic that I'm super interested in. I'm not just gonna walk up to a crowd of people and say, hey guys, what's up? I'm Steven. Nice to meet you. I'm gonna say disagree. In most cases, I probably won't. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastic. I'd say disagree. I really don't remember a lot of my dreams. And when I do, it tends to be more realistic scenarios. I don't tend to have I haven't had many weird dreams in a while. It's usually just some kind of like real life situation where with hanging out with someone. And it turns out, oh, I wasn't actually hanging out with that person. That's really weird. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. Step on others to get ahead in life. It depends on how you step on that person. I more so have a mindset of don't let others pull you down to get ahead in life. But I don't want to like throw someone under the bus. But if someone is like, you know, hindering your success, you know, you have to look at it for what it is and, you know, step aside so that you can do you. I don't want to rationalize, you know, screwing over someone for the sake of screwing over someone. I'm gonna do a slight agree with that, but I don't like the wording of this. It's okay to step on others to get ahead in life. Don't put me down. You know? Oh God, I hope I don't get a weird personality with that. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. No, I get sidetracked a lot. But you know what? No, disagree. Oh God, I can't commit to anything. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Yes. Yes, I do. Sorry. That's little insecurity. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. I don't have a problem doing that. I mean, and not like, you know, if there's a big group of people, I'm not going to just walk into a random social circle. But if I'm hanging out with a few friends and I'm meeting their friends, it's actually become a habit for me. I usually try to introduce myself to every new person who is hanging out in our circle. That's already with, you know, the couple people that I know. So that way we've already established that. It immediately gets rid of that awkwardness. It's something I've tried to do, and it makes things so much better when you just shake your hand with everyone there. Just do a quick introduction, That awkwardness is over. You've established that. Now you just listen. Listen to what that person has to say. And if you have something to say, just say it. Speak when you feel comfortable speaking. That's kind of the approach I take to social situations. I don't have to talk much. Yeah, I'd say agree. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. No, I do not. I love philosophical conversations. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. Disagree. I'll definitely be hesitant to, but I've cried in front of my friends before. But I'll definitely restrain. I don't want to show weakness, man. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. Disagree. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. I love doing that. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. Yeah, I'm gonna say I listen to my head more, but I like going with my gut. Maybe not my heart, my gut. But I think the gut is more connected to my head than my heart. Or maybe it's like that's like the mediator. The gut is the mediator. It's the one breaking up the fight between the head and the heart. I don't know. I feel like I'm like doing some weird Jesus thing. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. Man, I don't know. Never heard of it. Never heard of programming. Disagree. Okay, you usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. No. As much as I'll definitely crave it, there's definitely probably a little bit of a grudgy side of me, but it doesn't last very long. I'd say after some time, I definitely learned to forgive some people. It just becomes blurred edges after a long time. So I'd say I prefer to forgive more than get revenge. You often make decisions on a whim. Yes, I do. I almost went to graduate school this fall. I went and took the GRE, which is like an SAT test, but for people going into grad school. I applied to a school here in Austin, Texas, but unfortunately I got rejected because I took the GRE on a whim and didn't get the best score I could have gotten because I didn't really have that much time to study for it. But yeah, I do that a lot. I do make a lot of decisions on a whim, and sometimes there's some big life choices on a whim. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. I'm gonna say I disagree because I've had a lot of fun with my friends out here. And I would definitely prefer spending a lot more time with my friends out here than spending time alone. The only thing is that I feel like I don't have the energy for that. And that's probably the introverted side of me. Like I need that alone time. Like as much as I want to go out and hang with people and, have so much energy, party. Sometimes I just feel like I can't. And I just need that recharge time. So I'd say it's more satisfying when I actually am hanging with my friends, like when I'm actually doing the thing. I just wish I can do it more, if that makes any sense. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning over a message of a song or a movie. No, not really. I actually don't think much about hidden meanings and things. I'm actually someone where it'll just go completely over my head. I don't really listen to song lyrics, really. I'll listen to what the song sounds like. You always know exactly what you want. Disagree. I'm a flip-flopper on a lot of stuff. You rarely think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. Well, that's kind of like that. That's kind of like that conversation question. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter, less crowded areas. Yes. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. I'd say disagree. I'm thinking about the future a lot, but I think a lot in the moment now too. I mean, it comes back to I don't have like a methodical approach to life. I kind of take it maybe like a year at a time. I'd say that's how mostly I am. I'm definitely not a where you see yourself in 5 years kind of person. I'm like a where do you see yourself in the next 1 or 2 years kind of person. I'll look into the future a little bit, but not like too far into the future. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Yeah, that comes back to the empathy thing I was saying before. I try my best to. Come to me if you want some blunt advice, and I'll give you the blunt advice. When starting to work on a project, do you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible? No, that goes back to the detailed plan thing. There are things I want to do, but don't give me a full script. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it'll be until they become disappointed in you. Not really. I don't think that, sometimes I get disappointed that they do for some reason become disappointed in me, but I don't go in there expecting it's going to happen. You'll feel comfortable just walking up to a conversation you find interesting and someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. I'm going to say slightly disagree to that, but if it was like, if I overheard a conversation I liked, I'll do it. But it wasn't quite that. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. Yes, I do. You look after yourself first and others come in second. I actually have a hard time looking after myself first. I'm actually going to slightly disagree with that. I'm constantly jumping into plans other people make, and then I just kind of go with the flow. And there'll be some stuff that I'll do myself, but there's been a lot of days where my day just kind of gets carried away by things other people wanted to do. I'm like, oh crap, when do I have time to just record a single player game or something like that? When you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. Yeah. Your mood can change very quickly. I'm going to slightly agree with that. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I'm not going to full on fully disagree, but I do love the philosophical stuff. I don't really contemplate the meaning of life that much. It's actually very simple in my head, and I'm comfortable with that. My meaning of life is simple. This is my own personal meaning. The meaning of life is just to have something to do in this big universe. If just try to imagine nothing. You can't. It's kind of boring. I feel like this is the only answer. And if there's a big universe out there, you might as well populate with something that can perceive it. It's to have something to do. Otherwise, there's just nothingness. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. Yeah, I do. You have got a detailed education or career development plan stretching several years into the future. No, I do not. I have a degree, but that's about it. I don't know what I'm doing next. You rarely dwell on your regrets. And I'll do neutral on that one. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere of lots of people around you quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Agree. It depends on the people, though. Yeah, I can have a good time and I can stay out for a long time with the right people. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. No, I'm going to slightly disagree with that one. Because I definitely can get a little outlandish in my head. You find it easy to empathize with the person who has gone through something you never have. Disagree. It's very hard for me to empathize sometimes. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organizing consistent efforts. Yes, I record when I feel like it. I edit when I feel like it. Sometimes there's several days where I just don't feel like recording. I don't have the energy to do it. And I try to, just do something else, and I'll get a bunch of videos edited ahead of time. And that way I don't have to worry about the editing for a few days. And then I can focus my effort on recording. And sometimes it's every other day I'm doing stuff. Sometimes I'm doing both. Sometimes I'm just not doing anything. And I have several videos edited for the week. I don't feel like working today. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to go out somewhere. So yeah, I definitely have bursts of energy. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Disagree. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. Yeah, I disagree. I like hanging with friends. I don't need a party. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement can change everyday life. Yes, definitely. Of course I do. Yes, you always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. I'd say I'm pretty considerate of that. Just because I think about other people's actions and how they might affect me. And then I don't like that. And then I in turn have to think about, okay, well, how might this affect them? So yeah, agree. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. I'm actually kind of bad about that. I'm sorry. You rarely feel insecure. Disagree. It comes with age. I'd say you feel less insecure as you get older, and I've definitely gotten better about my personal insecurities. They're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It's just learning to not care. Oh, INFP. That's what I got. I guess that's my official one. I thought I was an INTP. I've gotten this before. I think the last time I was on this site, I got INFP. So, mind. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. So I'm 75% introverted and 25% extroverted. And I'm an intuitive type. When it comes to my energy levels, this trait shows where we direct our mental energy. So I'm more intuitive than observant. I am more of a feeling type than a thinking type. That's where I'm not really sure. I'm kind of in the middle here, but I really feel like I'm a thinking type than a feeling type. I feel like I relate to that more because I feel like I'm more in tune with my brain than my feeling. But according to the test, I'm a feeling type. So I contest this. I still feel like I'm an INTP and not an INFP. But the test doesn't lie. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. Definitely more of a prospecting type. Wow. I've gotten INTJ before, and I just blew this out of the water, and now I'm full on prospecting, 80%. Holy crap! But here is the most contested, which is where I feel like I'm kind of disagreeing because it's getting more towards the middle. So INFP, INTP. Maybe I'm like a combination of the two right there. But yeah, I hope you guys learned a thing or two about me. That was kind of fun to do. But yeah, this is 16personalities.com. If you want to take a test, you can kind of learn a little bit more about your own personality, and you can show it off to the world what kind of person you are. Just as I showed off to the world what kind of person I am. And you know how I said earlier, I tend to be like the one who will kind of break up arguments with my friends. Mediator. Boom. I'm the diplomat. So yeah, hope you guys learned a thing or two from this video about me, if you were curious, or just about personalities in general, and maybe you learned a thing with me about yourself as you were taking the test with me. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Think of the smallest thing you could possibly think of. That one singularity, that point of space, from your perspective when you're actually in the black hole, appears to be absolutely massive. So measurements become infinitely large from your perspective.